day and welcome to the AAU TV Mid-Week News, and we are coming to you from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities in Accra, Ghana, and my name is Lydia Nyame. Joining me in the studio are
Jumai Madaladam Duche.
And my name is Ajiman Ochredako.
And now the news bulletin on higher education. Online and distance centers advance tertiary access. And again, TVET and the challenges of cooperative training.
And in our health news, higher coffee intake may be linked to lower risk of prostate cancer, and also being active reduces the risk of prostate cancer.
In our technology news, tech giant Samsung introduces first transparent phone. We're so glad you're joining us for the AAU TV Midweek News, and please do want to follow us on social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube and Association of African Universities. Don't go anywhere, we'll bring you more of higher education, health and tech news.
Welcome to GTP Health and Safety Corner. If you feel like stepping out, remember social distancing. You might just save a life. Rock at home, stay safe. Wash your hands with soap and running water. Spaced out but still in touch. Check in on your loved ones and stay safe. GTP, timeless.
Malawi's higher education may have suffered through COVID-19, but the pandemic has bloated efforts to expand online and distance learning, in some instances reaching students through special satellite centers run by the universities and colleges. Out of Malawi's 19 tertiary institutions, 5 have made significant progress in such services, with Mzuzu University in the northern Malawi leading the way. Mzuzu University pioneered online and distance learning as far back as 2006, when the institution was just 8 years old. The inspiration behind this initiative was the fact that thousands of talented secondary school leavers had in the past been unable to further their education because of economic challenges. Well, that's some great news coming from Malawi, but I want to find out in what ways, in specific, how exactly is online and distance learning advancing tertiary access?
You know, the online and distance learning has been in the system for quite a long time, even before the pandemic. But when the pandemic came, it has given opportunity for a lot of people to be using this online and distance learning apps like the Zoom, the Teams, and the others. But, you know, this advanced access to tertiary students in a way that when the online and distance learning is, given the opportunity or, enhanced very well, it is going to help, students who are even disabled to be able to sit in the comfort of their homes to learn. Even though we have schools for disabled people, there are some courses that some of them would like to pursue, but because of their disabilities, they stay home and, they are not given the opportunity to go to such schools. So I think with the online and distance, it's going to help. And also, sometimes when a student moves from their country to study in another country, sometimes the policies for that student hinders them from doing some things in that country. So I think with the online, it won't hinder them. There won't be any policies affecting them in another country, getting them stranded. Yes.
Ajiman, in the reportage, it says Malawi, when you go to Malawi, there are students who, after completing the secondary cycle education, are not able to enroll in tertiary schools because of funds. Does this mean that the online and distance learning may in some ways reduce the amount of school fees being paid?
Well, I believe the conversation for online and distance learning began quite a decade ago, how we could create more access. And notwithstanding what Jemima said, we have lots of students out there who even have what it takes to be in higher education. The question is, there's no space. These are traditional brick and mortar houses that take students and have been on shift basis. And these students are so much that we can't get more to refill. So we have so many out there who wish they could be in a system, but the institution's threshold or student cutoff point is full.
That's true.
So how then do we create more space? So then we now create online distance learning centers where we could do this basically online. So we could have more students roping. All you need is your laptop or computer and then data, so you can link in. That means we can have an unlimited access for many students out there. But coming to the point of poor fund, say having less fund, we believe that being in a physical environment to enjoy utility bills, those utility overhead expenses, could be the cost of universities or higher education institutions these days. So if a university will have to spend so much money on water, electricity, and other utility expenses, so you could enjoy a good time on campus, why then don't you stay at home with your data alone? You'll pay your data cost with your laptop, and then we look at tuition fee for the tutor or the lecturer with you, which in one way will be an incentive for people who have less funds for higher education, because it would reduce the cost of enjoying the utility cost they pay in the universities. That is also a way of expanding the base for more people to go to school.
COVID-19 has definitely and of course paved a new way or a new system of education. That's the online and distance learning. But does this mean that it could be the next order of education?
I would say yes, and I would say no, because with the existence of COVID-19, it has taught us that going to school or learning cannot it's not only done with the face-to-face interaction. It can also go online. So I think that is my yes for it being able to be the next line of our educational system. And I'll say no because we lack certain things. There are a lot of gaps when it comes to our online education, like the internet connectivity, like computers for students. Not everyone is able to afford it, even though things are put in place or stakeholders are doing it possible or making it possible to make this online thing a progressive one. I think moving forward, if we should invest more into the online education, I think it will get to a point where it will be our system of education, not for us to wait when there is a pandemic before we are rushing to online or something.
Okay, Ajaman.
Yeah, I agree with your position that we should have an intense online distance learning approach. What stops us? We have an issue with our continent when it comes to taking a radical action. We are too slow. I don't know, we are quite slow to implement things.
That's true.
I don't know what you're waiting for again to inspire us.
Don't you think it's because certain African countries have problems? Like there are countries that students are not able to afford the equipment it takes to move to online, data, sometimes electricity, which they do not have any control over.
I can refer you to what happened in last year when the pandemic actually grew steadily on from March onwards. What happened in the University of South Africa, UNISA, with their Vice Chancellor, Professor Abedo Ahmed. Now, this professor decided to release 500 laptops for students.
A single professor?
Yes. I mean, he's the Vice Chancellor. Release over 500 laptops for the students. And data on campus, so they were in their rooms and we're still learning online. This is the direction we want to go. There's nothing that we cannot do in this continent. What we need is that radical. We have to be radical about it. Let's do this now. A time will come where online distance learning will be the way to go, because many people need to go to school. You realize what happened in Kenya, in the Kenyan prison, where the African prison projects were enrolling prisoners for master's programs in England. And they were online, there was online studies, and this man got a diploma in law. So you can see the potential in online distance learning. There are many people out there who have the potential to be in school, but because lack of space, they can't go to school. And we can widen the gap to roll them all in and create them more access. We can educate more people faster than we used to do traditionally.
So basically, online and distance education could be the next order of education.
It has been distance for a long time, but we need to make it much more prolific than it was then.
Okay, that's fine. Now, moving on to the next higher education story. Technical and vocational education and training is designed to be developed through work-based learning, often referred to as cooperative training. Obviously, this arrangement demands the collaborative effort of companies, enterprises, and the relevant institutions.
TVET institutions are entrusted with the task of delivering subject-specific or theoretical knowledge that contributes towards the theoretical comprehension of the occupational requirement set. In addition to their participation in the design and delivery of curricula, enterprises are equally expected to offer practical training through the provision of industrial knowledge, practical skills, and work attitudes. Linkages with industry and practitioner involvement in the scheme are thus conceived as key elements in the development of work-related skills and assessment of trainees' performance that is undertaken at the end of the cooperative training program. The scheme is planned to achieve the dual purpose of enhancing the quality of training and improving the relevance of TVET to the needs of the job market, thereby facilitating the future employability of graduates.
Well, that's a great one coming from TVET institutions addressing the challenges they face in terms of cooperative training. But I want to find out what exactly are some of these challenges.
I'll talk about investment. TVET institutions most often do not have the resources. TVET is practicals. They need more tools, more research, more resources to be able to enhance what they do. So I think that is one challenge that I think should be looked at. There should be more investment into the TVET program so that, they won't lack. Because I think one problem is the investment. So if more money or we invest more into it, I think it's going to help the TVET programs.
Okay, Jaman.
Yeah, I think I recall the summer last year when the African Union Commission came out with a report on how to intensify TVET in Africa. They mentioned that it would have been better that every institution actually rolls out one TVET course or program so that every graduate that comes out of the school wouldn't really come out with just a certificate, but something hands-on. It would save the graduates a better chunk of their lives than just coming out with just a paper, accrediting them as degree holders, which they would have nothing to show for. So it is important that every university, whether vocational or any university in Ghana or in Africa, basically, should do well that every student that leaves the school has a hands-on skill. Is it hard to do? Maybe it has to do with the accreditation. Maybe we have to now review curriculums. How do we infuse something practical, something vocational, so that a student that, let's say, does banking and finance from school would not be able to get a job because there's no vacancy in the banking and finance industry. But what can they do aside that? Maybe you can do painting or IT or electronics. Something can happen to change the life of every graduate because we have a hands-on skill. And that's exactly what's happening in Ethiopia.
But Ajima, how do we encourage students to take TVET courses when we do not have the resources it takes to ensure that they are okay with the TVET courses they are taking?
There's a trivial stigma. This is one of the most, let's say, the stigmas that we have. It's more of a dogma, We think that good students don't do vocational or technical programs. Good students are into much more white-collar things. And the bad ones, who can't pass well, actually end up doing technical vocational things. But these are 100% employable people. Because the one who has the carpentry skill can start a carpentry shop because he can do a table and a chair. But you, the one with all the lucrative looks, without that skill, who can't fit in the banking and finance industry, you can't do a table and chair. You keep writing applications and roaming in town till you're tired. Why do we keep doing this to our graduates? There should be some vocational component of it. And I think that we should encourage students. Students should be encouraged to understand the essence of TVET. Because if we don't do that, we always believe mentally that I'm a good student. I need not to be enrolled in any TVET program. But TVET is the future of our continent. If every graduate has a hands-on skill, unemployment will be a thing of the past. But since we don't have that working and we still believe that the bad ones are doing TVET, we'll keep having so many students or so many graduates unemployed.
That's great. Unemployment will be a thing of the past if students are being encouraged to take TVET courses. Health news is up next.
Continuing with our health news, Drinking several cups of coffee every day may be linked to a lower risk of developing prostate cancer, suggests a pooled data analysis of the available evidence published in the online journal. Each additional daily cup of brew was associated with a reduction in relative risk of nearly 1%, the findings indicate. It may be time for men to consider switching to Italian-style coffee as a means of reducing their risk of prostate cancer. A recent study published in the International Journal of Cancer found that the consumption of these beverages has a protective effect on prostate cancer risk. In an analysis of almost 7,000 men from Italy, those who consumed more than 3 cups a day showed a 53% reduction in prostate cancer disease risk when compared to men who had a daily 0.2 cups of coffee. The evidence on the effects of coffee consumption on prostate cancer are limited, and this large study shines a light on the potential benefit of a common beverage consumed around the world on this common cancer in men. Italian-style coffee is prepared unfiltered with high-pressured hot water temperature or boiling water that may result in less loss and a greater concentration of bioactivity compounds that could be beneficial for reducing prostate cancer. Coffee's anti-tumor effect has also been shown in other types of cancer such as bladder, breast, colorectal, esophageal, pancreatic, and liver cancers. Interesting. But you know, this topic hasn't been given much attention because I feel it has the 90% survival rate. But however, it kills close to 49 men daily in the US. That is according to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. But what do you make of this?
You know, the prostate cancer basically, according to so many pediatric medical agencies in Ghana and all over the world, is basically something that is inherent in black men.
Yeah.
Black men always end up having prostate cancer, which I don't know where it came from though, but I just pray that I'll be a victim maybe one day. I hope so, or maybe not.
I hope not.
Thank you very much for that. But I see how unfortunate it is that black men end up getting prostate cancer. But what's a very wonderful finding as coffee being a very great beverage that reduces the risk of getting prostate cancer. And I wouldn't be so surprised because we are not so used to consuming coffee in Africa, some parts of Africa basically, because of our weather. You know, it's highly consumed somewhere in the colder areas because it creates that warmth in in the cold. But now tropical areas where we find so much heat, it's quite not normal to go take a cup of coffee rather than a cup of tea. We're not used to that. So maybe we are seeing the reason because we don't take coffee, which somehow mitigates the
but I think the reportage, there's something in it that goes contrary to what you're saying, because it says in the US, right?
Yes, in the
94 men die of prostate cancer daily.
Which kind of men are those? Are they black men or white men? Okay,
I think you've got a point there.
Well, it's specified.
No, it wasn't.
Well, because according to the reports we heard from other doctors, it is basically a black man tragedy. So with white, it's quite unfortunate. And do we take that much coffee? Are we used to taking that much coffee?
We are not, definitely not.
So our body fiber is not really used to coffee, from my understanding, in Ghana, basically, not a part of the world. So maybe we should encourage the intake of coffee, maybe to mitigate. But we'll find out more. I think so.
But you know, the study talks about coffee being able to reduce the risk of prostate cancer. But you know, coffee also contains caffeine, which causes insomnia, stomachache, and all that. With this side effects, would you advise men to continue taking coffee?
Yeah. You know, Jemima, I think everything in this world has got good side and then its bad side. Because at the same time, coffee also has qualities that, I mean, when you take in coffee, it burns fat, it reduces your risk of getting cancer, and then it also boosts your physical performance, among other things. So personally, I think men should consult their doctors, because I believe different people react differently to coffee intake. So as a man, you should take regular checkup as a normal thing that you do. See your doctor and then find out from your doctor if coffee intake would be good for you.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. Find out if your doctor makes it, because maybe coffee could cause insomnia for you. You won't be sleeping all day, which is not nice.
Okay, moving on. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men in the UK, yet we still don't know all of its causes. The largest ever study to use genetics as a measurement for physical activity to look at its effect on prostate cancer reveals that being more active reduces the risk of prostate cancer. Over 140,000 men were included in the study, of which 80,000 had prostate cancer.
Prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in Australia. There are thousands of men currently undergoing treatment for prostate cancer.
My name is Brian. 18 months ago I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. I have teamed up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation of Australia to produce this video.
One effective treatment for prostate cancer is hormone therapy. It stops the cancer growing by reducing testosterone levels. Unfortunately, hormone therapy has some side effects that make life difficult. Researchers at Edith Cowan University are using exercise therapy to reduce these difficult side effects.
So Gary, how do you feel after starting your exercise program?
I feel great after going to the gym, because when I get home I've still got lots of energy for doing jobs around the house and doing brisk walks as well.
Different treatments for prostate cancer cause different side effects. So exercise medicine needs to be specifically tailored for each patient.
We have found that exercise allows men with prostate cancer to function well, as it prevents the loss of muscle during treatment, thereby improving quality of life in men with localized prostate cancer. Furthermore, we also found that older men with prostate cancer who have completed treatment also do better in relation to their physical and health-related quality of life. In patients where the disease has spread to other parts of the body, targeted exercise will also be extremely beneficial to preserve physical function.
More recently, our work has shown that highly specific weight-bearing exercise can actually maintain or improve bone health in men with prostate cancer. Whilst a lot of our work has shown that exercise can have highly specific effects, it's important to note that most exercise...
Great. Being the story is talking about being active, which is reducing prostate cancer. So would you say it should only limit men to, gym activities?
I personally, I don't think gym is the only activity that keeps men active. I mean, walking alone keeps you active. Personal exercises in the house, because how many men can even go to the gym? And even those who are able to go to the gym, how many times are they able to go to the gym in the week? So personal exercises works. Walking, because these days men are always in their cars. So this is their daily routine. They wake up in the morning, take their shower, dress up, and then sit in their car, drive to work. Sit all the time, close from work, drive their cars,
get
go
back
to
home.
sleep. So that alone, it doesn't help. So personally, if they adapt...
Great. So so the story is talking about being active, reducing prostate cancer. But does this only limit men to gym activities?
Personally, I think going to the gym is not the only thing men can do to keep them active. If you're a man and you can go to gym on a regular basis, that's perfect. But if you can't, personally, I think there are other things you can do to equally get yourself active. I'll start with home workout.
Yes.
Because, how many men can go to the gym every single day? How many men can go to the gym, like, say, 3 to 5 times in a week? You wouldn't get a lot of men. So if you can just adapt home workouts, it works. I would also talk about walking. Walking helps a lot, but it's quite sad that these days our men do not really walk. Because they've got cars and luxury, they just wake up in the morning, dress up, sit in their cars, drive to work, and then they sit the entire time. When they are closed from work, they drive back to the house. They do not walk. It's different with women, because even if a woman has a car, and sits at work all day, they go home and then still do some physical activities. Cooking alone keeps you active, but our men do not really do that. So if they can adapt walking, getting themselves busy, and then home workout, I think it would work.
Yeah, notwithstanding what Lydia is saying, being active is a very important aspect of reducing the risk of getting prostate cancer.
Yes.
But most importantly, it is all about your daily life and habits that really increase the risk of getting prostate cancer.
Yes.
Your drinking, men who drink too much of alcohol, all these beverages you drink, alcoholic beverages, increase the risk of you getting prostate cancer. Your eating habits, you're eating very late at night, also goes a long way. I'm saying all this in reference to the Medimosis Medical Center, which is one very prolific system advising people, young people, about prostate cancer. They even invite you to come and then check it out. If you have some signs of.
So have you got yours checked out?
It will be disastrous. Because I don't feel any symptom now.
Why would it be? No, Ajima, we are basically here advising people to go for regular,
it's just a regular check.
Are you men?
No, I think you should.
Man.
I really think you should.
I'm saying that it is only based on someone who feels symptoms. Symptoms, I guess, they're very normal symptoms. You feel that you are not feeling the sign.
I am no doctor, but I know that when it comes to diseases, sicknesses, the best you can do is to go for regular checkups, because the earlier it is being detected, the better your chances of surviving.
A symptom. I'm not seeing a symptom in my body.
Okay.
As of now.
So man, you should.
You
but
should
for
anyone
go for
who
a
is,
checkup.
but most important, the habits, your daily habits, very important.
Yes.
How you keep active, how you eat, and what time you eat, and what you eat, and also what you drink. Too much drinking can cause.
Then I guess you are going according to that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I learned.
But considering the fact that factors including stress from work and family will hinder men, what else do you think they can do to help reduce from that and then work on themselves in preventing prostate cancer?
One thing that Medimosis doctor mentioned was that even if you are home with your wife and family, right, and your wife is that type, that is a nagger, she nags so much, and she's always on your nerves, you can get prostate cancer very early because she takes away the money It is very important point, I think, a very terrifying point, that your wife is always making you, painting the picture that you're so useless, in quotes. This gets to the mind, and prostate cancer runs to you. You don't run; it runs to you rather. So that's a no aspect. Women should encourage their husbands, make them feel that they are kings, and you just reinstate the man in the man. Get a point?
Yes. Jaman, it seems you've turned into a marriage counselor.
I think I'm interested.
But how do we get men to understand the health benefits of exercising?
You know what it is, right?
How are you getting men to understand the health benefit of exercising? Yes. I think these are all things that we mention day in and day out. But clearly our men are stubborn a little. Our men are stubborn. They are just not willing to exercise because all the time they are just lazy. They complain of being tired. They need to step out of their comfort zone and then see exercising as a necessity, not just something that you do when you are not tired, you are not free, something like that. They should just see exercise as a necessity and then add it to their daily routines.
Okay, so they should just see exercise as their daily routine. We'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll give you science and technology news.
Welcome to GTP Health and Safety Corner. If you feel like stepping out, remember social distancing. You might just save a life. Rock at home, stay at home, stay safe. Wash your hands with soap and running water. Spaced out but still in touch. Check in on your loved ones and stay safe. GTP, timeless.
Welcome back to AAU TV Mid-Week News, and the tech news is up. The groundbreaking technology set all smartphones manufacturing giants to a race developing a technology which will make it possible for a phone to be completely transparent. I know you can't wait to use a phone that's totally transparent. Now, in January 2020, Samsung Electronics Incorporation filed a patent with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, which was published on 27th of August 2020.
Once in a while, you hear about transparent smartphones. Although various smartphone manufacturers have been developing this advanced technology for decades, there are as yet no devices available that are fully transparent. Samsung looks busy with the development of a transparent display device, which I will tell you in detail, but if you are new here and want to stay up to date about the latest tech reviews and news, please hit the subscribe followed by the bell. In January 2020, Samsung Electronics filed a utility patent with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. The patent was published on August 27, 2020, and describes the technology needed to create a transparent smartphone. Alternatively, the technology could also be applicable to other consumer electronics products, such as a TV, monitor, laptop, and game console. As a basis, an OLED display is used, which is characterized by low power consumption, high brightness, and a faster response time than conventional LCD displays. The OLED screen is equipped with a transparent luminous display panel through which light can shine. Thus, content can be displayed on the transparent screen while users can simultaneously see through the phone. It can be a flat display, but also a flexible screen that can bend, fold, and roll according to the patent description. It is a technically defined patent that goes into great detail about the different layers and components required to achieve transparency. The patent images show a modern smartphone with narrow bezels and a large transparent screen. Each pixel on the phone's display would allow light to pass through it, effectively rendering the screen transparent.
We have the exciting transparent phone from Samsung, and I can't wait to get my hands on one, you know.
Are you calling
But, you know, I'm wondering, why would you want to use a transparent phone? Just to flex or what?
I think it's a new thing I would want to try.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because
No,
I don't know how it will
phones,
feel though.
It's normal, you know.
Personally, I like the flexing part because Charlie holding a transparent phone.
Yeah.
That's some whole new level stuff, you know. So I would
Exactly.
personally want to use it mainly because of the flex. But one thing I like about it, I personally made time to read on it. I realized this phone has low power consumption, and for me that is a bigger problem I have with a lot of phones that I use. You charge it and then just when you are ready to use it for something important, you don't have any power in it. So you'd have to go and charge it up. Sometimes it leads me to lose a whole lot of things. So if Samsung is introducing a phone with flex, that can also give me enough power consumption. I think it's amazing.
Oh yeah, you know, even sometimes, no, the normal phones we have, the opaque looking ones,
Yeah.
you can put them down, you can't even find your phone.
Exactly.
Because- and how much more transparent one? Though?
Exactly.
That comes from
How
the
it
phone.
will.
But
That's
basically,
true.
it adds that flex, that coolate to it. And you know, the issue of the battery, we know phones that do that actually.
Well, that's all for the news, and thank you for staying with AAU TV. And as we wrap up, let us take a quick recap of our headlines. Online and distance centers advance tertiary access. And again, TVET and the challenges of cooperative training.
And in our health news, high coffee intake may be linked to lower prostate cancer risk, and also being active reduces risk of prostate cancer.
In our tech news, we know that tech giant Samsung introduced the first transparent phone to the market.
Thank you once again for staying with AAU TV as we inform, educate, and entertain. My name is Lydia Nyame.
And I am Jemai Madaladem Duche.
My name is Ajiman Ochodak. We're glad you joined us. Do what to keep safe, wash your hands, keep a good distance, and wear your mask. Have a nice day and bye.